Hello and welcome everybody to Fallout 3, an amazing playthrough. So, I actually was just streaming this game, and I got about 40 minutes into the recording, and realised I had no mic audio, because I had muted it, and I was showing a bunch of interesting things, and it didn't record any of my audio. So, we're going to try this again. I'm still going to get through this section, and I'm going to do the same things as I was doing before, show you all the same things, but I'm just going to be a bit more annoyed because I'm going to have to do it all over again. But it's okay, because I've already played this game 20 million times. I can play it another 1 million. It's okay, guys. What I want to show you today is the way that encounters work in Fallout 3. So, if you didn't know, within this game there are random encounters that you can find around the map. And there's 3 separate categories that that are in the game. I can show you 2 within this sector of the map, the direction I'm going. So there's 3 types, and you can research this on the wiki, and I'll probably have a link below to the page if I remember. There's a type A encounter where you do have control over the encounter. You can manipulate it by simply reloading a save state. You can determine what event triggers by reloading a save outside of the encounter cell and then entering the encounter cell. So there's a type here, there's one here. So in this encounter that I've just triggered, there's a bomb strapped to her. Oh no! Boom. Okay. So, and then these raiders will attack you. Right, so that's one encounter. That's an encounter within type A that you can manipulate by reloading a save outside of the cell where it's triggered. So there is a trigger point. Really? Oh my god, can you just die? Right, so you can manipulate this cell by reloading a save outside of the encounter cell and then re-entering the encounter cell. But it's randomized, so you can't determine which one you will get, but you can re-roll the encounter per se. You can redetermine which one it loads. So if we re-enter the cell here, it should be a different event. There is a possibility it can reload the same event, but it's very rare for that to happen. Okay, so this time there's a bunch of settlers that have been loaded, and they're being attacked by a bunch of raiders. She got in my way and got her killed, but it's fine. This won't matter because I'm going to reload just to show you how it works. I can't believe they're actually fleeing. In fact, I might keep going because there's another encounter cell up ahead that I can show you. Something else I'll explain to you in a minute is like the way you can manipulate how fast you can fire certain guns. But I'll show you that after because it's easy to show you when I'm not showing you another thing. Right, so that's type A. But the locations of those events are they are predetermined outside of certain areas. So that's one area that happens, that bend in the road. Another encounter cell is in front of the super duper mark right here. So there's a big bad red scorpion who you think is friendly because he just killed a bunch of raiders for you. How lovely. But if you walk up to him and get too close, he'll become hostile and he'll then attack you. And because you're so low level, you're probably gonna die. No, please die. Ah. So if we reload this save and we re-enter the exact same cell, again, this is a type A encounter. It's picked from the list of encounters that are possible, that are predetermined. Let's say that the encounters are predetermined, but how they play out isn't, and where they play isn't determined. So this time, I get an even better encounter with a Deathclaw. So I just killed a Deathclaw because I'm so good at the game. And here, the way that's determined is that, well, then if you loot this corpse, this is how you get the third part to the Deathclaw gauntlet. So that's not going to matter to me because I don't really need it. So now I'm almost a prospector, almost. Yeah, that's an event that gets picked from the list. But something that's interesting from the way that this happens, like the way that it loads into the game, is say if I went back to this save here and then kept re-entering that cell up there, so where that bend is, the encounter that is shown to you will be the encounter that you just saw here. So if I reloaded it enough, if I reloaded the game enough, right, onto this save here, and then re-entered the encounter cell back there, I would eventually get this Deathclaw encounter again. Because the actual cycle of encounters that you get when you start, so that's determined when you start the game. Okay, so we just had a list of encounters, right, in Type A. So the Type A encounter list, we had an explosive bomb collar, that's encounter 1. Then the second encounter was the Wastelanders attacking the Raiders. Then the third one would be the encounter with the giant rad scorpion. And then the Deathclaw would be number 4. So if you reloaded that save and re-entered that cell 4 times, you would eventually get the Deathclaw encounter, but in that cell instead. So it's the same encounter, but in a different map location. So that's Type A. So again, I'll link a full description of how this works in the description. That's just Type A. The way Type B encounters work, if I remember correctly, is that they aren't predetermined, but once you create a new save file, they'll always occur in that location, no matter how many times you reload the save. Again, the encounters are different, and they can be reloaded, but they are only reloaded by creating a new save file. And once you access those encounters, they're done. Again, like Type A, but they're predetermined by creation of a new save file, not by reloading a chunk. And then there's a Type C as well, which are completely set in stone. No matter what you do, you can create new save files, new saves, but you can't manipulate them in that sense. But you can manipulate them by how you enter the cell. As an example, there is an attack here that happens where if you get close enough to this area, these super mutants will spawn, and they'll start attacking some raiders that spawn down here. So they'll attack each other. It's all fine and dandy. If we then, again, reload this save, this exact same save. So this encounter is set in stone, so it will always happen. There will always be a flag for super mutants to spawn on this side of the river. There will always be a flag for raiders to spawn in that location. But simply by walking up this way, instead of walking along the riverbed area, these super mutants that are flagged here, they are loaded. Like, the flags for them exist. I think they start, like, here. Like, exactly where I'm standing. Their flags won't be activated because you're now in this occupied space. They won't spawn. However, the raiders will. Those raiders will always spawn. No matter how you approach this cell, they will always spawn in that location. So if you now kill these raiders... Okay. Right. So now that I've entered this area, those super mutants will then spawn from that flag and attack you. Like, every time. Every single time you enter this area, this side of the river, those super mutants will then spawn on that side. Right, so now, if we reload this save, so if you access the encounter from this side, the encounter cell's set over there. Like, once you enter this cell, those raiders will spawn every time. But the flag for the super mutants is determined by your location within the cell. So if you approach it from that area, across the river, they won't spawn. You'll be able to occupy their space. If you approach it from the riverside, by the bank, they'll spawn, but they won't see you and they'll attack the raiders. And then if you approach this area from behind and come from this angle, the raiders will spawn, but the super mutants won't yet spawn. They'll only spawn when you get to the riverbed section. So up here, they won't spawn. So now, if we look around here, these raiders are still here, just as angry as ever. And the second I touch this area, those super mutants are activated, their flags are activated. And I am now getting assaulted by a minigun. Again, which is always carried by 2 brutes. No matter what level you are, it's always 2 brutes that spawn. It's not manipulated by your level. Something that I can show you, this is technically a Type C, but it is manipulated by your level. So it's kind of a Type C. Type C is weird because there are variables that can change, but it's dependent on which one. The only thing that's set in stone is that they will happen in that location. So at the GNR building, there's the super mutants that are attacking the building. But the actual level of those super mutants is changed simply by what level you are. So if you're a high level, so like say level 20 or something, instead of brutes attacking the building, you'll have overlords, a master maybe, well, a few overlords, well, 1 or 2 overlords and masters and brutes. If you're a slightly lower level, say like around 10, you'll have like a few masters and some brutes and like a few lower level super mutants attacking. Again, if I was on PC, I could show you this directly just by simply editing my level, and you could see it in real time how it happens. If I could get a save set up, in fact, hold on, let me save this. I might have a save file ready to show this off. In fact, I'll wait for a minute. I'll actually get there first. Let's just play through this section. So I'm gonna, I was intending to play a little bit beyond this point, maybe talk to 3's a bit, but I'll save that for next episode. I'll just cut the stream off here because I've done quite a bit of technical explanation in this stream. That was the main thing I wanted to show with this level. I mean, this bit of the game. But yeah, that's about it. Next time we'll talk to 3's. I'll probably do the actual quest that he gives you to see the museum and go and get the satellite dish to repair. I might actually do all that because I quite like listening to the music in this game. Hello. Ah, how nice. Right, so that will be it for today, and I'll see you next time, guys. I hope you have enjoyed the video or the stream. If you've been watching, I will see you later. Bye bye.